Hello everyone and welcome back to the Richcraft server. I am Big Rich NZ and I'm trying to walk backwards and forwards along here without falling off as part of my intro. On today's episode we plan to do, I think I said last time we were going to stay away from the iron farm, but in between episodes I've actually done quite a bit of work on one of the other iron farms. Also want to do a bit of work on the castle, and then we might include a bit of a server tour in here as well, and just see what some of the other players have been doing. As you can see as well, I have designed for myself a banner which I'll be putting on all of my builds so that people know who I am. If we see in town, we can't see at the moment obviously, but if we go to town we'll see that Jetboy has also done the same, and I'll be encouraging the other hermits to do the same, to come up with a banner, and they can put it on their builds to easily identify themselves. So, off camera, or between episodes, as I just said, I've done quite a bit of work on the iron farm. So, let's go and have a look at that. We'll go down this way. Well, actually we can see it over there. So there's the iron farm up there. It's not finished. It is working, and it's pumping out a monster amount of iron golems. I've changed the design of the tower. I decided to go more of a round style so it fits in with the central tower here, and I do quite like the way it's come out, so I may end up changing this one down here. And then I plan to make the actual iron farm itself look round, so the main part, the working part of it will still remain the same as it is now, but then we'll have some circular elements so that it all sort of fits in together. But there is a bit of a problem with the tower, and if we come down here we'll see what it is. So there's a bit of a saying among builders here in New Zealand, I presume it's the same with builders in other parts of the world too, that is measure twice, cut once. Well, I measured once, and can you see what the problem is? That's right, the iron farm is not lined up with the rest of the iron farm array. See the bridge here, which this is the centre of the bridge. You can see here how it's all very symmetrical. The centre of the bridge is just, well, the whole bridge is off by one block to the right. The whole iron farm is off by one block, and I've been toying up over and over and over with it in my mind, how I'm going to get away with it, and I just can't. And it bothers me no end. My what is it? OC, obsessive compulsive, just goes bananas when it sees something like this that's not lined up properly. So we are going to have to move the whole iron farm over one block. It's actually not as difficult as it sounds. It will be a bit of a pain. Basically we take one block off that side and put one row of blocks on that side, and we can do the same with the iron farm underground. So that won't be too hard. The hardest bit, of course, will just be this whole tower here is to move over one as well, and that will be a massive pain. But I just can't. I can't look at it. I can't have it like that. It's not right. It bothers me no end. So that's what we're going to be doing this episode, is moving that over. Bit of a spoiler. You can see in the distance here the castle. You can see I've already been working on that. We're going to have a look at that a bit later. I'll hopefully do a bit more work on it before we go and have a look. The reason why I stopped is because I ran out of stone brick. Now I do have plenty of stone brick. Well, when I say plenty, I do have a fair amount of stone brick, but I want to use that on this build over here. So we're going to have to go on a bit of a resource gathering mission at some stage to gather some more stone brick and stone to carry on that build over there. Anyhow, I think also, as I said earlier, we should have a bit of a server tour. So I think maybe now is the time to go and do that. Right, here we are in town, and time to start our server tour. We're going to start up over here with this build here. It's obviously a build in progress. This is built by Scoot and Toot. This is going to be his town base. He does have another base somewhere else in the mountains. I've got no idea where it is. Hopefully we'll be able to find that somewhere. But this will be his shop area. He told me that he is keen to start selling potions, so he's got a brewing stand all set up there, and we've got a few potions here for sale. Potions of regeneration, 1 diamond. Or we can have cobblestone. he's just selling for 4 stacks of iron. So I've been making good use of that, as you can see, as I've got loads of iron and I need loads of cobblestone. So that is Scoot and Toot. Over here we have the what do we call this? The Mage Tower, which has the enchanting table in it. So I've done a bit of work here on the inside to tidy it up. Not really sold on the floor. We'll probably change it to something else, but it looks a lot prettier than it did before. Not getting so much use as it was initially. And then we have over here the smithy, which is my build, which is my shop. See, I've got my banner on it, which is my shield. And so we're selling some items in here from our smithy. We haven't sold much recently. I think everyone's sort of bought what they needed. It's just the smithy area. I realised not that long ago that I had all this wonderful stuff in the smithy, but you know what the blacksmiths used the most? An anvil, when I didn't have one. So I have one there now. So that's the smithy, and I think I did. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but I did plan on putting a an armour or a toolsmith or something in there, just to give the build a bit of a more animated feel. We'll go to the build next. So this is my starter house. So we've had a good look at that. Nothing's really changed there. This main level here is just a big open space with a bed in it and some maps. This bottom level here is where all the action happens. So that's got my auto smelter. The top level there, I plan to use as storage, but I've only got I think about 2 chests in there. Otherwise, it's a big open level. So a lot of space not being utilised properly. Here, this is Jonathan Edes, one of the newer players on the server. So he's built himself a starter house here. At least I think it's Jonathan Edes, and a shop. So it's not the most exciting looking shop, but you can buy 15 of anything for 2 gold, I think he said. Yes, 15 of anything for 2 gold. That seems quite expensive to me, but whatever. If he sold it for iron, I'd probably buy all this watermelon. I'll have to have a word to him about that, see if he's interested in selling things for iron. We'll go, let's go this way. So over here, so these are a couple of monuments that Jet Boys built out of cobblestone. Cobblestone's where these things look alright, of course, but cobblestone's not the most exciting thing to build out of. So maybe you might have a bit of a word to him and we can change some of the blocks to different textures with a nicer feel to it. This is Incredible shop, and he sells in his shop watermelons, I think, yes, melons. So there you've got a few melons. He sells them for, among other things, iron. So again, I've made good use of that. Up on that hill over there, he's got an automatic watermelon maker, and that's connected through hoppers to here. So it just automatically, so long as this area is loaded, that automatically fills up. And from time to time, I come down and empty his chest. Here we have Jet Boy, so you can see Jet Boy's better, and he has got a food shop which he sells all kinds of different cooked meats. I make good use of his steak, as you can see. That's my main food source, but I think he's been on for a few days, so he hasn't restocked that in a while. What else have we got here? Another of Jet Boy's builds. So we're here, and here he's selling wood. I haven't actually had a look in here before. So we got 1 diamond or 2 iron for half a stack. Your payment in there, and then we've got spruce, oak, and birch. So you can buy wood from. That's not bad actually. Normally I don't go hunting for wood because we've sort of built on a forest. It just tends to be in the way, and the amount of wood I get from hacking everything down usually gives me enough wood for what I want. But eventually we'll run out, so that'll be handy. This is Jet Boy's starter house. It's got his banner up there again. It is quite noisy in there. He has narrow sheep, cow, and chicken farms, I think. Maybe pig farms in there as well, so that's why it's so noisy, but that's of course where he gets the meat to supply his food shop. Sorry, his food shop. I wish he would sell the leather though, as I use a fair number of item frames and books. Leather is very handy, but he hasn't got a shop for that, so maybe have a word with him about that. If we move this way, this is Artemis. Now I don't like this thing here at all. She made a diving platform. It's a bit of a game, and I don't mind the game, but you know, a cobblestone pillar. You know, come on, we can do better than that. But anyhow, you sort of stand up there and you jump off, and the idea is to not land on the dirt blocks. And the others were having fun with that today. But this is her starter house. It's sort of developed over time. She's made a nice use of textures there, if I can see, with them using the new stripped, was that oak? Stripped oak, I think. Lots of flowers on the outside, makes it look nice. I'll have a quick look inside. Oh, she's got a dog. Yeah, there we are. The inside. Won't look around too much. Don't like going into other people's bases unnecessarily. And then there was a tree here, so I suppose this would have been some kind of tree house, but now it's just a spiral wood thing, so that looks quite interesting. And then a platform runs around. We're just going to run across the water to her shop over here, which is a flower shop. So I think it's quite clever how she's used, I presume that's concrete, either concrete or is it red sand and normal sand, I don't know, to make a flower looking thing. She sells all kinds of flowers in here. Unfortunately, no one has any need for flowers at the moment. However, when oops, get out the door. When the game progresses and people start needing dye for concrete or glass, then I think she might start making quite a bit of money with her flower shop. Yeah, so that's this end of town. So we'll try and run around this corner here, fighting against lag. Let's go this way. Run through town. There's some of the guys. Pardon me, it's my hay fever kicking in again. Does that every time I want to record. Yeah, so some of the guys spent a bit of time the other day just going through and making some pathways through the town to form roadways. I think this is a nice progression as the town becomes more populated, so that the pathways become more defined. And I think as time goes on and we get more builds and better builds, we might change these pathways to roadways, and that'll make a nice progression. But anyhow, we come over here. We've got 3 builds. Oh, yeah, someone move the portal over there. So we've got 3 builds over here. These are all made by Ammo Beast. So he's got this big building here, which is called the Great Hall. I'm not sure what his intended purpose was, but people have just started using it as a town hall. So we can see Jetboy's got his banner there. Ammo Beast has got his banner there. I'm going to have to stick my banner here somewhere. So this could be like a bit of a town hall, I think. So when you make your banner, you stick it in here, and everybody knows which banner belongs to who. Maybe we'll leave a chest here too, which we can use as a bit of a mailbox. And going with the town hall theme, I decided to do a bit of mapping. So I've made a level 1 map of the town area and the castle area. I've got space here for some more if we need them. Potentially I might move all the maps over one and sort of map up what I'll call the industrial area here. And you can see here, so this is a 1.13 feature, that I've named my castle, and I've named it Fenbird Keep. I actually need to update that because it's changed a little bit since I made this map. And the feature, the 1.13 feature is to leave a name on a map. And the way you do that is if you have a banner, you can name it in an anvil. And then if you place the banner down, and it doesn't have to be in full view, my one's actually buried inside the keep area. You put that banner down, and then take your map, and then use your map to touch the banner. I think you right click on it to make that happen. And then, as we can see, the name appears on the map, so that is pretty handy, being able to do that. Now it's not a lot of use on this tiny map here, because we can actually see all of this without having to go running around. But if we had a larger map, or like a level 3 or a level 4 map, then it's quite handy to have these things pop up so we know where different things are. And I may at some stage make larger level 3 maps. I think I prefer level 3 maps over most. Level 3 maps with people's bases which are sort of out and about, and get them to put banners with names on it, so we can say so and so space, or they can give it like a proper name, and that'd be pretty cool. But having said that, and having looked at this, the town itself doesn't have a name. So if you are watching this and you have a good idea for a town name, please feel free to put that suggestion in the comments, and then we'll have a look at that and have a sit down at some stage and decide what we're going to call our town. If it's helpful, sometimes, like most towns, are usually the name sort of follows the area they're in or something significant about it. So if it's helpful, there's a swamp sort of up here. There's a birch and oak forest over here. There's a dark oak forest over here. There's some sea to the south, and further south there's some icebergs. So some of those sort of things might help. Which of course is why I've named my castle Fenberg Keep, because a fen is another name for a swamp. And berg, I looked this up on the internet, but berg is the name for a stronghold. Not necessarily a castle, but maybe a fortified town or a stronghold. So seeing as how this was a castle or stronghold, and it's next to a swamp, Fenberg seems like an appropriate name to me. And it sounds kind of cool too, Fenberg Keep. So we're going to stick with that. Anyhow, let us move on. So here, this extensive structure is Amo Beast's starter house. So there's Amo Beast's banner as well. We go in here. You see he's played around with textures quite nicely, made this interesting looking pathway. It seems to be a pointlessly large building, but you know, when you're building in Minecraft you can do whatever you like. And we've got here another interesting textured pathway to what I can only assume will be maybe a throne at some stage. Maybe I'll suggest it to him. He can put a throne here, and this could be like his throne room. That seems like an appropriate use of the space. And then of course he's got some up the top, some ladders going up to the roof. We can have a bit of a look around at the town, so we can observe what's going on. As you can see, I'm running out of food, so I'll just grab myself a nice tasty steak. Take in the view while chowing down. There we are, there's my off-centered iron farm. If you look over here, actually, we can actually see the sea over there. So that's pretty cool. So we'll head on back down, and we'll get all uncharted or unused territory out the back here. Anyhow, head on down. So he's made a nice use of different textures and using different layers here to give depth. So that's pretty nice. Not sold on the grass here, but of course he's probably not finished. And torches everywhere don't look the best. And he's got loads of dogs. So still work to do there by Amo Beast, but he's done a pretty nice job. And see, I like this here. How he's put that little feature in there. Cobblestone's a little bit busy for me. But still, it gives it a nice feeling of depth having those bits in there. And there's one last build, and it's this one over here. So this is Amo Beast's woodshop. So got a bit of competition going on the server. 2 woodshops. So I actually haven't been in here either. I just have automatic closing doors, so we have to do that manually. Oh look, here's some competition. Jet Boy does half stack for 2 diamonds, 1 diamond or 5 gold for 1 stack, so he's undercutting the competition. There's a price war going on the server. So we've got birch, or the planks. Planks. Why is he selling planks? Why wouldn't you just sell logs? He is selling logs, or he is selling logs. Or planks. Seems a bit silly to buy planks when you could buy logs. Yeah. Anyhow, oh look, there's a hole. Needs to fix that up. So there we go. Again, torches everywhere don't look the best, so there's obviously a bit of work still to do in here. On the ground, with some lighting, but still nice build. Again, you know, he's got this this layered effect on the side, which gives you a feeling of depth, and also around the edges gives you a feeling of depth. And different textures. I'm not really sold on. To my mind, logs should be going up and down the sides and planks in the middle, but you know, whatever. Everyone's got their own design style and their own likes and dislikes. So good job there, Amo Beast. So that's town. So I'm just trying to think how many players we've got on the server. We've got just get rid of that guy. I can't think and talk at the same time. Right. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got about 9, 10. Yeah, we've got about 10 players on the server. It's nice having a lot of players playing multiplayer like we are, because it does mean all these sort of builds kind of just pop up. Oh, there's another guy come to show me some love. Well, let me show you the love back, buddy. Yep, take that. Feel the wrath. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, we just finished it with the sword. There we go. What was I saying? Yeah, playing on a multiplayer server with a number of players, these builds just sort of pop up. Like if I was building this all by myself, there'd be nowhere near as much development in it. Having lots of players means that a lot more builds get done, and there's different styles. I mean, I never would have built a building like that. That just never occurred to me to use like trapdoors for a wall texture. And the same here, my builds don't look anything like that. I mean, I prefer a medieval style, as you can see from here, and here, and of course over there. That's my preferred building style, but yeah, different people have different ideas on how them should be done. And they look really nice, and it's good for a bit of inspiration, giving you different ideas. Of course, as well, having shops, it's actually quite fun having shops, and sort of coming in, logging on every now and then, and seeing if you've got any sales. That's quite exciting, seeing that and seeing how much money we can make. Which, of course, if you're the only player on the server, that wouldn't happen. Look at that, he's got mobs spawning on his roof. He's going to have to do something about that. Yeah, so that's pretty cool too. Anyhow, there's mobs spawning up there too. It's a bit of a dangerous place, town. We will. That's the end of the server. Sorry, that's the end of the town tour. So some of these guys have bases outside of town. I don't know where they are. I know Scoot and Toot's got one. Nitro X has got one, and Jet Boy's got one out of town, but I don't know where they are. So maybe once they've finished their out of town bases, we can go and have a look at those. Perhaps once we've eventually managed to get ourselves some elytra. No, don't move. Oh, server legs. Making me miss. Die. No, okay. Oh, someone's going to come and show me some love. Yeah, wear that. There you go. Yeah, so as I was saying, maybe once we've gone to the end and killed the dragon and got some elytra, we'll be able to tour a bit further and a bit wider some of the other bases that are going on. But that's all for now. Time to get on with the next stage. Okay, as you can see, I have fixed the iron farm. It is now centered on the center of this bridge. There's a few little bits there that stick out which shouldn't or should. So it's a little bit of tidying up to do, but I basically spent all of last night taking one block off that side, adding one block to that side, and the same for the iron farm underground, and then taking this tower down and moving it over one block and rebuilding it. So that was a bit of a pain, but my OC has now calmed down, and I'm not going mental looking at this thing. And this time I put some torches on the tower too, because we're getting a few spawns in some of these areas. So, job done. I guess now we head over there. Alright, here we are at the end of another episode. I did get heaps of things done. Well, wasted my time rebuilding this thing here. But otherwise got heaps of things done, although not much to show on camera. It was a nice base tour, but I would like to show you before we exit out here what I've done on the castle so far. So we'll just quickly spin around. And there you can see in the background the castle. So I've completed the exterior of 2 towers. I've completed the exterior of the keep. There's another tower on the back side, on the other side, which I'm still working on. And there's some exterior details on the taller tower to do, and of course loads of interior. But it all looks pretty cool. I'm not so happy about the snow forming on top of the towers. It looks a bit like a candy cane or something like that. but I saw somewhere, might have been on Hermitcraft, that you can put buttons down. Buttons count as redstone, so there's no spawn and no snow. And of course you can get buttons the same colour, well, you can get buttons different colour woods, so you can get buttons the same colour as the wood that you're using. So I started doing that, but I went through an entire stack of buttons and only did the base of the shorter tower. So I have to craft up loads more buttons and cover those tower tops with buttons to stop the spawns and to stop the snow from forming on them. But otherwise, it looks pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with it so far. Some more details, obviously, to tidy it up on the exterior, but progress is being made. I'm not sure if I'll carry on with that in the next episode or not. I do feel the need for a beacon, which means we need to go wither skull hunting, which means I'm pretty keen to build a wither farm in the nether, and I'll see if I can do that as a collaborative with either Jetboy or Scoot and Toot. So we'll see about that for next episode. But also one other thing I did off camera as well is we weren't generating any more villagers, and the villagers we were generating weren't librarians, and I wondered if there's some kind of ratio that the game keeps in its memory somewhere that says you must have so many librarians and toolsmiths and armourers and stuff per village. So I've removed all of the villages. You can just see just above my head there's a little dirt bridge with the track. So I've stored all my villages down here in the sugarcane farm. Sorry, stored all my librarians down here in the sugarcane farm. So I've removed them from that village, and we'll see if they regenerate as the villages sort of regenerate, or not regenerate. What's the word I'm looking for? Spawn new villages. If they turn out to be librarians or not. So hopefully we can get some librarians and finally get a mending villager. We are desperate for a mending villager. I've one pick I've repaired it so many times that it is now impossible to repair, and so I've had to build another one. And I don't have loads of diamonds, and it's a bit of a pain in the neck trying to get all those books and things together to generate efficiency 5 pickaxe. They're in efficiency 4. Let's have a look here. What does that one say? Yeah, that one's an efficiency 4, fortune 3, and efficiency 4, silk touch. So be keen to get a mending book on those, or mending put on those, so we can eventually get them up to efficiency 5, and not have to replace them from time to time. But anyhow, that's all we have for this episode. Thank you very much. I wasn't going to do any more moving around because I'm bound to walk off. Cool shield. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you like this episode, please hit the like button. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. And as always, have a great day.